got a wind advisory active at least until 9 p.m. tomorrow here locally, and some of those higher elevation regions might even see that extended into those weekend days. Right now, in terms of wind speeds, 21 miles an hour in Grand Junction, 19 miles an hour through Moab, 9 miles an hour through Montrose, and those areas in the high regions are actually feeling a tad bit calmer. Now, earlier today, we were hitting kind of some peak wind gusts in those 30-mile-an-hour zones, even 40-mile-an-hour zones as we look towards Montrose. Now, tomorrow, we're going to continue to see these speeds elevated, 27 miles an hour for that top wind gust expected in Grand Junction. Desert Valley's just a tad bit more, and Montrose and those southern regions just a tad bit less in terms of just how windy it's going to be. And while those wind speeds are elevated, we'll notice from the Allergy and Asthma Center of Western Colorado, we've got a little bit of some tree pollen sticking around, more than just a little bit. We've got an excessive amount, low grasses, low weeds, just a tad bit of some mold pollen sticking around with us as well as we get into this spring season. Now, what are we expecting as we kind of jump throughout the rest of the work week? Yes, still warm temperatures, 70-degree afternoon highs, maybe upper 60s tomorrow, but then temperatures are dropping as a cold front moves on through on Saturday, and that's also going to bring some widespread showers. That's going to start Friday night for those high regions. We aren't really expecting any maybe moisture until those late night hours of Friday and getting into Saturday. And yes, like I mentioned, wind speeds are staying elevated. Now, currently, 75 in Grand Junction, same through Moab, feeling 72 through Montrose. We'll even notice earlier today, got up to 76. So we are getting close to those records, but not quite yet. We're about maybe 10, 15 degrees above those seasonal averages. Low end of things also about 5 degrees above what we're typically used to. And even outside on America's Mattress Live Tower Cam, we do have that cloud coverage, and that's going to continue to be seen throughout tonight. We might get a tad bit of a break in terms of those clouds through Friday morning as we wake up tomorrow, but then overcast skies are returning, and then, yes, that unsettled weather with those overcast skies moving on in Friday night as well. Tonight, before that happens, we're still above those averages, even more than we were last night. 48 degrees in Grand Junction, maybe crack those windows this evening. 43 through Montrose. And as we get into tomorrow, I did mention a lot of that moisture is moving on in. We've been tracking the storm moving on in from the west coast, and as that starts to make its way across the Great Basin, we're going to start to see some moisture through those southernmost region first before it widespreads through, again, all of that basically continental divide region. And even as we kind of look into tomorrow's temperatures before or as that storm system moves on in, dropping just a tad, but still 70s and mid-60s to be seen. We'll take a magnifying glass on that storm system, and yes, a little bit of a break as we wake up tomorrow in terms of that cloud coverage and even into those later morning hours, but then rolling right back in 5 p.m. hour before those storms widespread. Now, those late night hours of Friday, maybe if you've got those, late night Friday plans, might see a little bit of some rain falling from that sky, but it won't likely reach the ground because of something we like to call virga. Those warm temperatures we've got sticking around kind of stop that rain from even reaching the ground. Now we'll notice even as we get into Saturday and closer into Sunday, mostly all of that precip, all of that snow is focusing in those high regions. We aren't expecting anything here in the valleys, essentially past Saturday morning. Now, we'll even notice in terms of those snow projections, they have increased quite a bit. We've watched the storm kind of mature just a tad bit more, and some double digits will be seen by the time this storm system wraps on up through Steamboat, Aspen, and Telluride. Discovery Auto Group's 7-day forecast after that storm moves on through does have that slow increase in temperatures through the early work week while some sunshine returns.